Disrespect. Today we are disrespecting Nightmare Zone. It's funny, I was thinking about it. Today, episode 71, this is going to be the most Asriel of all of the episodes, because in this episode, we're going to do something just for the sake of doing it. Indeed, one of Asriel's big characteristics, besides him wanting to antagonize the play, twist the knife a little bit, he's the character that whenever you do something wrong, he's going to be there to call you out on that wrongdoing you did. In fact, if you restart Undertale after maybe killing someone you didn't want to, it was an accident after all, you might reset the game, get everyone back, start over again, except Asriel will not reset. He'll remember that you did it. In fact, he'll even call you out on it. He'll say, "Oh, did you kill somebody that you didn't want to? Did you feel guilty? And so you wanted to reset the game and just try again?" And let's go over our equipment real quick. So we're going to be playing as Seraphina. Why? Because she's dispensable. She's extremely competitive, meaning we can get rid of her. She's going to get replaced anyway, so if she dies, oh well. We're going to be using the high-angle rescue hatchet because of its high durability and lethality. We're using backpacking and resourcefulness to carry as much stuff as possible. You can see right here we are under our carrying capacity. We've got the Echo X3 and some ammo in case I need to deal with some zombies. BFG for a Juggernaut. Plenty of ammo for the Pyro Launcher. Got some espresso to stay awake. First aid kits in case we get injured. But most importantly, we've got some strong painkillers. We've got 18. This would not be possible without resourcefulness to double our stack size. 18 bottles of stimulant. So the rules are, we're going to do a marathon. We're going to go all the way around the perimeter, like so, go around like that, and back to our base on foot. The rules are, I can use anything in the game except for cars and scent block. Those are the rules. And I've been thinking about how to make this as unfun as possible, because I know you guys want this character to die, or whoever I would send out to die, but I have thought about it, and this is the key right here. Bottles of stimulants. Oh, let's go ahead and activate this as well. The reason the stimulants are so important is because... Which way do we... Let's go counterclockwise, because I'm like a deviant. We'll make this our first checkpoint. The reason why those are so important is because you'll quickly see that you can outrun zombies, no problem. My only limiting factor is my stamina. But even now, these zombies, as they are attempting to gain on me, I can get my stamina back. I don't think so, Mr. Farrell. Running in a straight line, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Running in a straight line, not a great strategy. But I will go ahead and run my stamina out a bit. Am I going the right way? Oh no, we're not going the right way.
I need a breather.
See, this is our only limiting factor. We need to take a breather, but not with the stimulant bottles. Who needs to take a breather with stimulant bottles? See that? And these, you're going to see these last for a good amount of time. So we're going to be able to run this using our skill setup. And what are the zombies going to do about it? I have no idea. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out what the zombies are going to try and do about it. But as I was saying, yes, that's the character. Asriel loves to twist the knife in the character, but one of his big traits is that his power comes from experimentation. Throughout his life, he's gotten a lot of things wrong. He's made mistakes, but he bounces back from his mistakes. And one of the things he accuses the player of, depending on the decisions you make, is that you do things just just to do it. It doesn't matter who you screw over, because it doesn't matter. You can just reset the game. You can just reload your save file. It doesn't matter. Those people, they're not important. You can do whatever you want. After all, it's just a game, after all. And so he basically accuses you of, you know, being much more similar to him than perhaps you think. You just want to see what happens. You're just going to do it for the sake of doing it. Maybe you don't even care about the results. You're just going to do it because you can. And that's exactly what we're doing today. We are taking a page directly out of Azriel's playbook, and we're just going to do this because we're just going to do it to do it. Now, as you can see, it finally wore off.
Can't do it.
But of course, I could just kill this guy. And now we're out of range of any zombies. They can't hear us. And as long as we don't get too many of their attentions, our marathon should be relatively quiet. Except we do have these ferals over here. The game is trying to... Oh man, that was a snapshot. I can't believe I got that. The 3 ferals down. Now, on top of that, look at that. We got all 3 bolts back, and that's because we have resourcefulness. Resourcefulness increases the rate at which we recover our crossbow bolts. Also a great... Maybe I should have this as my default weapon. Okay, am I going the right way? Okay, this is our turn right here. Let me mark that location. But those ferals, if they come in a straight line, as long as you don't choke on the shot, it's easy to line a shot up on them. Not a problem at all. But that's why we're doing this, just because we can. You know, I don't even know what the result is going to be, and maybe I don't even care what the result is going to be. I'm just doing it. Okay, our next checkpoint is going to be about right here. I have a feeling that the equipment set we've got is going to work really good. I thought I was going to wait until daytime, but I'm like, you know what? I don't honestly care. I'm just going to go out and do it. I'm just going to go out and... If it's nighttime, it's nighttime. Obviously, that'll make it harder to shoot the ferals, but you know what? It'll just have to be harder to shoot the ferals. So let's go ahead and make some better time. We're going to go ahead and activate another stimulant. I was thinking about bringing... I mean, I could still change my mind. There's nothing stopping me from just changing my mind if I want. These little straggler guys, I think I'm just going to kill them in case I just want to stop for some reason. I don't have to worry about some guy just following me. I might also try the Zedrenaline. Zedrenaline, not as strong as stimulants, but they last quite a long time. I think they last 5 minutes, just like all of the Zed items. Here we've got some bloaters. We can just run around them, though, and ignore them. They're not a big deal. In fact, the only thing that can really catch us are ferals. That's the only enemy that has a chance of actually jeopardizing us. And that's why I brought the pyro launcher just with the extra payload of ammo, because that's the main threat we've got is ferals. Fortunately, we handled the group of 3 that they had literally just spawned in right then and there. The way I could tell is because their idle animations were perfectly in sync. Like, they were all kind of like fidgeting at the exact same... They were fidgeting the exact same way. Like, they were just kind of moving around, looking around in perfect synchronization, meaning it's very likely that they all got generated by the game at the exact same time, meaning, yeah, they probably just now spawned in right then, right there. Let's go ahead and mark our next one. Which is going to be up here. If we had a character with Marathon, in some ways this would be easier, because then we could just sprint infinitely. But in some ways it would be harder because we wouldn't be able to carry as much equipment. Debatable which would be better. Debatable if carrying more equipment is more important, or if just being able to sprint the entire time. I mean, we basically can create the effect of marathon through the usage of stimulants, but obviously I would prefer to save some of my stimulants. I mean, I'm using about half my stock of stims. I think I got another 18-ish back home. So it doesn't matter too much, and I don't even think we're going to use all 16 of them. But, you know, there's different ways we could handle this challenge. Another thing I was confident of is once you get moving... Okay, I've told you the value of... Once again, we're taking a page from Azrael. I've done a lot of experimentation in this game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But in the end, all experiments are valuable. That's where Azrael gets most of his power from. It doesn't really matter if his ideas have worked throughout his lifetime. What matters is that he's basically playing Battleship. And in Battleship, every time you miss, well, you have determined that the ship isn't there. And so now you are one location closer to your objective. So indeed, his power doesn't necessarily come through his successes, but through his failures. In fact, you could say the reason he's as powerful as he is at the end of the game of Undertale is because of his failures, through process of elimination and trying out different ideas to finally get what he wanted. He was able to obtain it in the first place. And that's exactly how I treat State of Decay. Not all of my ideas have been successful. Some of them have been met with critical failures, such as with, let's look into the past in Season 2 with Gregory. Gregory died because I wasn't very familiar with the way the artillery strikes worked. And because I wasn't familiar with the way the artillery strikes worked, I didn't know that you could throw them as short as they could. I thought the throwing range on them was going to be a lot longer, but, well, it turned out I was a little bit wrong about that, and that wound up being a catastrophic failure. Or I mean, it went exactly as I planned. Exactly the way I planned it. But that's how it always works. You know, I'm always trying something. A lot of times, failure does not have a really meaningful consequence in this game. But, or what I will do is I'll secure myself sufficiently so that if there is some kind of failure, I'm able to get out of it as well. But that is where the success in Nightmare Zone comes from me. Like, I will give some tips on Nightmare Zone. I've been writing some ideas down on what my advice for people how to tackle the Nightmare Zone is, but a lot of it just comes from personal experience, just trying ideas. Even if you're in a desperate situation, just trying ideas out. And honestly, I learn so much by making the videos I do. When I make the different guide videos, I learn so much minutia details that I just never understood about the game before. That's where a lot of my power as a State of Decay player comes from. I mean, we still don't need any supplies, so I'm just going to continue on. This will be our next checkpoint. So let's just keep on running. I didn't complete that thought. Oh yeah, so one of the things I was talking about was a part of the reason I wasn't as worried about this. I mean, I could be proven wrong. There's always an opportunity that the game can be like, you're so arrogant. I will show you. I will put the fear back inside of you. The game could always do that. There's no doubt about it. But one of the reasons why I don't feel as bad about this challenge as other potential challenges is simply because one of the observations I have made through playing the game is that once you start traveling, especially if you're traveling for quite a while, the enemies tend to become a bit sparse. Like, the enemies, their density starts to... How do I describe it? Basically, if you stay in one place for a really long time, and I think this is a big problem people have with starting in a nightmare zone, they probably stay really close to their home base, because that's just kind of that's the natural thing you'd want to do. You would want to stay nearby safety. That's just really logical. The thing, though, is that the game places enemies based on where your physical location on the map is. That's an observation I've made. I don't know exactly how it works, but it seems to happen with such great reliability that I'm willing to say that the game just does that. It populates the game and puts enemies approximately where you are physically. So what that means is if you stay in the same area for a while, the game is just going to constantly generate all kinds of hordes of zombies, all kinds of just bad stuff all around you. And if you move around, the game is still going to do that. The game is still going to spawn in some hordes, spawn in some freak zombies, but because you're moving around, the game has to keep up with you. Do I want to carry those? No, we can't. We don't have enough space. The game is trying to keep up, and that just means that you're splitting up the spawns all over the place.
Nice to see you again. Come on and hang out.
What do you got for sale? Nothing I want. Well, goodbye, strangers. Let's, this is our next stop. In other words, so how does it relate?
Now or forever hold your peace.
I hear him. There he is. This time we'll burn him. Oh no, I got the wrong ability. Once again, since we have so much stamina, we really don't have to worry about us attracting zombies. Because we could just activate our stims and go for a run. So we have gone through one stack of the stims so far. And that'll allow us to just easily continue outrunning those zombies. And as I said, the only zombie that's able to keep up with sprint speed is a feral. I brought the BFG just in case. I mean, so far we haven't even run into a juggernaut. But if we do, you know, we do have that option. We can jack the juggernaut up with our 50 cal. We could also use it on the feral. But so far, so good. Sun is going down, so that means when I started this, it was kind of midday-ish. Probably leaning more towards evening. And that's basically what we're doing. By traveling around a lot, we are preventing the game from just concentrating their spawns all in one place. Like, there's a juggernaut over there, but, you know, he's not going to matter. We're just going to, like, run past him like it's not even a big deal. Because it's not a big deal. Run past him. Oh, he nicked me. Should have went a little wider on him. Stims wore off again, but a lot of times you can honestly just get so much distance on them that you can let your stamina regenerate just like this. And then just start running again. Got a horde on the left, stragglers on the right.
Our zombie traps are failing. I knew this was too good to last.
Overall, we can just continue on. One thing I will want to do is quickly take a look at the map. How close behind the... I got enough time. I need to go this way. So let's keep running. Next time we have a quiet moment, once we outran them all, we can check the map and make sure we're going in the right way. Pretty sure we are, though. Well, they're working for their dinner. They're trying to get it, but regular zombie, not fast enough. Let me go ahead and knock out some of these stragglers just so that I can create a quiet zone. Yeah, the guys behind us are finally giving up, so our next checkpoint is going to be here. And when we get there, I'm probably going to pull out some of the... Zedrenalin stims just to see how they perform. Because like I said, they last for a full 5 minutes, which is pretty nice. I think one of the mistakes people make in Daybreak is that they don't use stimulants. I see a lot of people just constantly getting... Their character gets fatigued, and they can't continue fighting, and I think it's because they don't use the stims. Stims are really good in Daybreak, especially because your weapons don't have durability problems. How close are we? Okay, yeah, we're just going to continue following it. And it makes a really big difference. Like, your character shouldn't really be getting tired, especially in the last 5 waves, because by then the stims are coming down in a much greater quantity. Like, you definitely want to make sure you have a stack of stims in Daybreak, because they just make such a huge difference. Old value wagon. So far we've had to deal with 4 ferals. Which is not too bad. Especially because we actually ambushed the group of 3. Annoying, nosy guys are hearing the sounds of combat. It's one thing that's always impressive about Nightmare Zone is just how much noise things make. It's really definitely a problem in Nightmare Zone you have to watch out for, is just the sheer quantity of noise that things make. Probably the easiest thing to underestimate in Nightmare Zone is the sound of a regular zombie screaming, because they don't really make a noise. I mean, they do. They make a slight noise, but the sound of their screaming animation is not reflective of how much noise it actually makes. It's not as loud as a screamer, but it's pretty close in terms of the distance of the sound. Enough that if a regular zombie screams in Nightmare Zone, I mean, you may as well consider that similar to a screamer. I mean, you should respect a screamer even more than a regular zombie, but if a regular zombie screams, expect company. Like, it's really, really loud. Okay, are still up ahead. Probably gonna burn another stim to get there faster. Trying to ration our supplies a little bit, but I also get impatient. And hey, that's what I brought these supplies for anyways. 24 minutes on the recording. And so far we've seen 4 ferals and 1 juggernaut. Didn't have to fight the Juggernaut, though. 1, because we could outrun it, and 2, because it was off to the side anyways. This guy, he's trying hard. He's hungry. He's making those noises. Is he gonna leash by time, or is he gonna get to me? Good job, you made it to me. That's your reward. Okay, let's go ahead and repair this. Oops, don't. Just give me that back. Repair. Thank you. Let's restock on stims. And let's go ahead and take... Let's do two things, actually. Put this in. Put this away. Let me go make a cure. Like, I don't want to mess around with the potential of getting blood plague. That's one thing I don't want to play around with.
Conflicts and keep people healthy. If your community doesn't have a place to train, the Zeds may be the least of your worries.
So what I'm going to do is get the cure. I'm going to basically activate this.
Damn it. My last one.
Activate that. And then I'm going to restock my stims. Where are my stims at? And we're also going to take an espresso. So now, as you can see, I am still losing stamina even with this, so it's clearly not nearly as effective as... What do you call it? Come on, start running. It's not nearly as effective as... stimulants. Nevertheless, it's still pretty good. Like, it's when I do need to rest, you'll see that my stamina comes back quite a bit faster, and also my stamina is depleting slower. Like, it's basically allowing me to maintain my sprint longer, and it's also going to last for a pretty long time. You can see how much faster my stamina's recovering. So that's the effect of the Z-Adrenaline. You can also see on my health I've got that little icon that's kind of like pulsing. And that's because the other thing the Z-Adrenaline does is it gives you health regeneration. Not a ton of health regeneration, but health regeneration, nevertheless. Oh man, can you get to me? Nope, looks like they're too busy screaming. Which is fine, because it's going to draw zombies to where I was previously, rather than where I currently am going to be. Keep following the road. No side paths right now. One of the concerns we have is fatigue. Fatigue is an issue. Fatigue penalty can definitely become a problem, but at the same time... We do have the espresso, we have a second shot of it, and that should be enough to get us back home. And plus, we've nearly completed the lap. We're nearly done. And as you can see, yes, I can strip out the fun. I know people are like, oh my god, it's gonna be like... there's gonna be so much combat in it. It's going to be so intense. Like Fox is going to get into all this trouble, and like maybe his character is going to die. No, like we are so deep into the game right now, and we are so well stocked up that it's going to be very difficult for the zombies to kill me.
Dear God, I'm tired.
Very difficult. Not impossible, or even improbable. If something really dumb happens, sure, we could definitely still die, but we've got really good equipment. We've got great accessories, good equipment. I mean, I can call in the sniper support if necessary. I have a lot of options. And the other thing is, I know people are expecting there to be like a lot more action as well. But another problem is that the way the game works as far as the spawns go, this guy's just... I'm just gonna, like, deal with him real quick. Am I going the right way? Yes. It's just the way the spawns work as well. The spawns are just always going to be thinning out once you start traveling around the map a lot. That's just a natural effect. This is our next objective. This house will be our next checkpoint. hopefully also demonstrates the strength of the stimulants. Like, I think a lot of people, I don't know how many people use stimulants. When people compliment items that they consider to be really good, I typically don't hear people complimenting stimulants. Even though stimulants are a really good item. And look how long the Zedrenaline is lasting. Even though it doesn't let me sprint continuously, you can see that it still is allowing me to... Okay, it's finally wearing off, so we know that the 5-minute timer is beginning to fade.
I need a break.
Right down here is our next... I kind of want to outrun our espresso a little bit, so I'm probably just going to start popping the stimulants in order to pop the stimulants and start saving some time. Because we don't want fatigue to set in too much. Because I believe the way that the stimulants work is, or I believe the way this espresso works is, the fatigue penalty is going to come back before... The fatigue penalty is going to come back before the, what do you call it? Let's mark our home base. I lost my train of thought. The fatigue penalty comes back before the stim, or the before the espresso buff wears off, and we're not allowed to take another shot at espresso until the buff wears off. Here we got our Juggernaut in the middle of the road, so we weren't able to. They aggroed us. But Juggernauts are even slower than regular zombies, so we just run past them. Nothing to it. I can hear them still coming after me, but not going to matter. Not going to matter. Take another stim. 32 minutes on the clock. That guy's pretty fast. Look at him. He's really trying. He's putting his back into it. Did he give up? Oh, no, he's still coming. He's still trying. Oh, he's still there too. Jeez, this guy is. This guy's got heart. I mean, it might be like a fetid, rotted heart, but he's got heart. He watched Rocky too much. That's what it is. Here we are, just about home. Here is the safety boundaries of the base. And there we are.
Not dead. My two favorite things.
We've made it home, back to the safety of the base. We went down over here, to where one of our checkpoints were. We skipped this one because we had plenty of supplies, followed this up. I'm pretty sure we skipped this one too because we didn't need supplies. We went around, we saw the perfect strangers who didn't have anything we wanted, went over here, and I think our first resupply was here at that really handy construction site. Then we ran down here, past this checkpoint because we just didn't need anything, and finally made it back to our home base. So as you can see, with the correct supplies, you can just go around however you want. And overall, the I mean, I don't know how many regular zombies we encountered, but we encountered 4 ferals, 1 complete feral horde, which we were able to catch them by surprise. That's how many arrows. Not how many I used, because we didn't resupply our arrows, but with the ability to resalvage them, with the resourcefulness, we barely used any arrows. We used a total of 6 pyro launcher fireworks. I don't know what you'd call each individual pyro launcher munition to kill the 1 extra feral. We didn't even use the BFG. We used 1 shot of espresso. Didn't get an injury. Didn't have to worry about that. I would say, I think we used like maybe 2 stacks of stimulants. Even if we didn't use that, and look at that, the espresso still hasn't worn off. I'm impressed with the espresso. Maybe I should find a way to include maybe I should find a way to include an espresso outpost into our build. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Jeez. So, like, Drucker County has, like, Texas-style restaurants, but they don't have espresso stands. Really? Is there no... Am I just blind? Am I just not seeing them? Are there no espresso stands? Oh, here we go. Okay. So, here's an espresso location. Gives you 10 morale per person in your community, and then allows you to build espresso. And we're actually pretty short on espresso. We don't have very many of them. Let's see, I think we only had 2. Let's put it back in. Yeah, so we only had 2 shots of espresso, and it's way more effective than coffee. Much more powerful, so, might do that just because we would be able to use the same character in the field a lot longer. I'm really impressed with how long the espresso is lasting. So there you go. That's the effectiveness of having a variety of these. 1, backpacking. Lets you carry way more. I mean, look how much stuff we're able to carry and still stay in a medium weight. We're carrying 71 pounds right now. Normal stamina usage. Resourcefulness. Allows us to easily recover crossbow bolts. Resourcefulness in a crossbow, without a doubt, the most efficient ranged weapon to use. Combo for the Nightmare Zone, very efficient on resources. It also allows you to get the extra slot. You can see right here, resourcefulness +1 inventory, backpacking +1 inventory. That's why we have 4. Resourcefulness lets you double stack your supplies. Just extremely powerful, extremely effective. Only works for consumables, though. That's another thing you should know. You're not able to double up your ammo, just consumables. Doesn't have to be, like, things that you actually physically eat. It can also be, like, hand grenades and stuff like that. Overall, just extremely, extremely good. But, hey, there you go. The challenge. Let me know down in the comments section. Were you expecting more than this? Were you expecting, like, oh, are you like saying, oh, shucks, that fox, he's a dirty, no good fox. He's like, he's sucking all the fun out of the challenge. Like, I thought he was gonna have to get, like, chased by ferals and blah, 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 blah. But let me know what you thought about the challenge down below. If you have another challenge, especially if it's something that I could do within, like, 1 episode, like what this is, like, going on 38 minutes. If you have a suggestion that I can do, sure, I'll consider giving it a shot. I won't do challenges every single time. I'll probably need some preparation. But, yeah, I'll even give them a special name. It'll be like the challenge thing. Whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Anyways, let me know what you think. Do you think I cheap-shotted it? Is it a problem? If you do think I cheap-shotted the challenge, is it a problem? That's another question. Did I do something that invalidated the challenge? Because we didn't use a car, and I just used consumables, medicine, stuff like that. What do you think? Or do you think, like, no, that's just the appropriate use of items? Did any of this reveal that the game can be made so much easier with common items? Like, I mean, I wouldn't call stimulants common, but if you kill plague arts, you're going to get a lot of stimulants. Maybe you think the pyro launcher is too strong. That's definitely a possibility. Pyro launcher is super strong. I would have used the dev grew instead. The dev grew not quite as safe as the pyro launcher, but still a very, very good weapon for killing ferals. Didn't even need the BFG in hindsight. Just brought it mainly to showcase the effectiveness of backpacking, allowing you to carry so much. But yeah, let me know what you thought about this challenge down below, and let me give my thanks to Azriel Dreamer for allowing me to succeed in the stupidity of seeing what would happen just to see what happened. And I did prove to myself, because I wasn't completely sure, so by doing this taking this page from Azriel, we have learned what I thought, that as long as you keep moving through the map, the density of especially freak zombies are going to be a lot less consistent, to the point that a character without a car can run an entire lap around Drucker County. At any rate, that is really the end of the episode. Like this video if it was entertaining, subscribe for future State K2 content, and of course remember that you don't have to be good to get good.